Oh, platinum. Sweet, sweet platinum. We all want that premium currency so we can spend it on making our cats look Gucci. What? You guys all spend it on that? What a bunch of weirdos. Well, regardless on what you spend it on, whether it's being skins or more potatoes, we all need it. Cause Lord knows you'll eventually run out. So, you being an experienced player, you go and farm more plat. And you know the ins and outs of the game, you know what you're doing, it's almost like second nature to you. Whenever a new player asks you, how do I farm platinum? You just freeze. You don't know where to start. There's just too much information. And you need to realize that this new player doesn't even understand the basics of the game. He doesn't realize why he can't sell his rank 6 vitality for some plat so he can get a skin for his lovely pink ember. It's then that you realize, holy moly. Was I this stupid? No, of course not. You were just new, and so is he. You know all he needs is a little guidance. And my friend, don't worry. Whenever a player asks you this, just show them this video. I'll do the job of teaching them how to trade in a way he'll understand. So to some players, the beginning will be kind of boring because I'll be going through basic stuff like where to trade, what you can and cannot trade. So if you think you know this, just skip ahead. Okay then, and with that out of the way, let's dive right in. So, places. Where can you trade? Well, there's only two places where you can trade, and it's Maru's Bazaar in Mars, or in a clan's dojo. To get access to a dojo, you must first join a clan, then craft the clan key. After it is built, you may enter the clan dojo through the star map. And please don't go and create your own dojo. There are plenty of clans looking for players all the time. Just ask to join a clan in the region chat or the recruiting chat. The clan key does take 12 hours to craft for no reason, but when done you can access the dojo. Alright, you know where you can trade, but what can you trade? Well, only a few selective items, like prime parts, mods, some other items, certain materials, and a few weapons, like the ones you can earn from the syndicates. I will talk about this more in detail later when I get to the economics. Cool, so I know where to trade, what I can trade, but how do I do it? What are the steps I need to take to trade with someone? This is pretty simple. If you're in Maru's Bazaar and you want to trade, just hold Q and set up your shop by selecting the items you want to trade. Then, you can wait there for someone with interest to appear. But no one does that. What you actually do is you go to the trade chat and type one of three things. WTS for want to sell, WTB for want to buy, and WTT for want to trade. Since we want to sell our stuff, we type WTS. Then use brackets and type the name of the item we want to sell. If the item exists, it'll show up as this nice blue color. If it doesn't exist, it won't show up as a nice blue color. After that, put in the price you want to sell or type PMO for private message me an offer. After that, just wait for someone to DM you with an offer. After you agree on a price, go to your dojo, right click on his name and invite him into your dojo. When he has finally joined, go to the trade machine and press X. Select his name and trade. If you don't want to do that, then just ask him to invite you to his dojo. If he doesn't have a dojo, well, then you gotta do it. Sucks to suck. Okay, I understand. I get it. I know how to do it. You understand? Good. Now let's get to the economics. For me to organize this topic, I'll divide it into 5 genres. Primed parts, mods, items, materials, and ew, which stands for extra special weapons. Alright, primed parts. So, what primed parts can you sell? Any really. But remember, if you craft the blueprint, you will no longer be able to trade that item. So, what's the best way to sell a primed part? You can either sell it on its own, or you can sell it with other parts of the same interest to create a set. So if you have all of the prime parts for Titania Prime, then you can sell the whole thing in one go as a set and earn more at a process. Sure, but what price should I expect selling it for? Well, that's pretty easy to determine. You look into a relic and you can see the rarity of each piece. Common for bronze, uncommon in silver, and rare is gold. The price in which you should expect to sell at is very much dependent on that system. Bronze parts usually don't cross over the 10 plat, silver parts don't go over 30 plat, and gold parts shouldn't go over 100 plat. These are all as standalone items. As a set, however, it mostly depends on how old the prime item is. While an entire set of Atlas Prime can cost about 40 plat, a much newer Titania Prime set is around 100 plat. These are the oldest and newest frames as I am making this video. This oldest to newest system also affects the standalone items as well. Now, there are prime weapons that don't get vaulted with time, and when I say vaulted, I'm referring to the system in the game it makes so some frames aren't available in the game all the time. The system works like this. Whenever a new prime Warframe and their weapons get released, the older primed Warframe and their weapons go to the vault, which means you can't get their relics to farm them anymore. But that doesn't mean they're gone forever. Because a prime vault opens up every once in a while with 2 frames that have been vaulted for a long time, you can now farm them. As of right now, those 2 frames are Oberon Prime and Necros Prime and their respective guns. These will be available until the devs decide to close it. So even though the system exists, there are some weapons that don't get vaulted and they're available all the time. And they are the Paris Prime, the Bratton Prime, the Burston Prime, the Lex Prime, the Bronco Prime, the AK Bronco Prime, the Fang Prime, and the Orthos Prime. These primed items never get vaulted, so they didn't age very well and everyone has them, so they're considered prime junk. And they don't sell for much plat like the other items. And so they mostly get turned into ducats, which is the currency that Barokitir uses so you can trade with him. I'll go in more depth about him later. 'Cause he's important. Since these items get turned into ducats, we need to sell these items with the amount of ducats that these items contain in mind. And how do we know that amount? Simple. Their rarity. Bronze items typically go for 15 ducats, silver items usually go for 45 ducats, and gold items always go for 100 ducats. Oh, but wait, for you to see the amount of ducats an item is worth, you can just hover over them and the amount will be right there. And no, we're not done, because some items can be sold for 25 or 75 ducats. This is because in one of the relics, these items got demoted in the rarity, so their value went down with them just a little bit. Okay, so what's the standard price for these items? Well, this differs from person to person. I usually go with the 1 plat per 15 ducats worth. Meaning, if an item is worth 45 ducats, it's worth 3 plat, and so on. I call it the 115 method. But just like people that go to Costco, they want to buy these items in bulk. So make sure you have a filled up inventory of 6 slots at least with prime junk. Because of this, the 115 method works with the items that are worth 25 ducats, because 3 or 6 of them are worth 75 or 150 respectively, and are dividable by 15. But the items that are worth 75 ducats, I would recommend selling them on their own. But they also work in the same way and manner as the items worth 25 ducats. And I think that's all I have to say for primed items. Now let's go into the other one. Mods. Mods are a little different than selling than the primes are. While some mods are essential like Vitality and Intensify, everyone has those, and they're not really that rare, so the only mods that are worth selling are Vault mods, Primed mods, and Riven mods. If you don't know what these are, don't worry, I'll explain everything. So let's start with Vault mods. There are 2 types of Vault mods, the Orokin Vault mods and the Vaulted mods. In the same way primed items get vaulted, some mods also are. And I'll get to those in a sec. Let's just go over Orokin Vault mods first. So what is an Orokin Vault mod? Well, they're certainly very special, because they're one of the 2 mods in the game that actually gives you a negative stat. Which sounds bad at first, but their positive stats are through the roof good. Think of it as a good stat mod with a twist. Okay, but how do I get those mods? Can you shut up? I'm teaching over here. I'm getting to that though. Okay, to obtain these bad boys, you must first have access to a dojo, and second, access to the derelict. You don't know how to get there? Easy. Just buy the derelict key blueprints from the market, then craft them. I recommend buying the capture mission key, because it's the only one you'll need. But you should buy all of them. Awesome, now you have access to the derelict. But you do need 4 more items that can be found in the dojo. These will also be keys, dragon keys. You must have all 4 of them and must also craft 1 of each. And you can find these keys in the Arcane lab. After crafting every key, go to your arsenal and equip every key. But watch out, every key gives you a debuff. So pick a tanky frame, because the debuffs will lower your shields, your health, your sprint speed, and your damage. Then go to the derelict mission and finish it. But don't extract. Go around the map and find this weird looking door. After you find it, go and open it. Once you open it, it will consume the dragon key and ask for. This is why you need all 4, because it's random and you don't know which key the door will ask for. After that, go to extraction and look at your prize. Not every mod is useful or that good, to be honest, but some mods are really good and you should keep one for yourself. So the mods you were looking for mostly to trade will be Narrow-Minded, Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, and Heavy Caliber. Okay, now price. It'll mostly depend on the rank of the mod, since the rarity is just about the same. But if the mod is rank 0, it'll be worth about 10 plat. And if the mod is maxed out, then it's worth 120 plat. Cool, now vaulted mods. These mods for the most part come at least once a year as a part of the Alkalite event, which requires you to kill stalker-like enemies to earn the special mods. Since these mods aren't available all the time, I won't go over too much, since it's not a stable source of income. But the most seeked mods are Blood Rush, Body Count, and Argon Scope. These mods share the common to rare way to determine price. For common mods, they usually don't go over 20 plat if they even get that high. Commons shouldn't go over 100 even if maxed out, and rares can go up to 150 plat. Alright then, let's get to better sources of income. Primed mods. If you didn't know these exist, it's pretty normal, since they are almost exclusively through Baroquetier. So let's talk about him. See, I told you he was gonna be important. Baro is one of the few NPCs that can trade, but he only appears every 2 weeks. Baro's trading spots are in any of the relays that are available in the map, even the one in Pluto. This is why I say to new players, the first thing you should do is to go through all of the planets before anything else. There are many benefits that come with having all of the planets too. Like I said before, Baro has his own resource that you need so you can trade with him, the Ducats. And you have to have quite a few of these, because every Prime mod costs around 300 to 400 Ducats to buy, and not to mention the 100,000 or more credits you have to spend on it as well. So this type of trading isn't for new players, but that doesn't mean you won't get there eventually. So because every Prime mod doesn't have a rarity, since they come from this NPC's random rotation, we can't rely on that to find a price. It has to mostly be on its popularity with the player base, and the rank level of the mod. If it's rank 0 and it's a high sought after mod, like Primed Continuity, it's worth about 40 plat. If it's not sought after, like any of the primed ammo mutations, and also rank 0, it's worth about 40 plat. If these mods are maxed out though, they go up in price a lot, because the amount of credits and endo you have to spend on it is super high. So more popular mods can go for 220 plat, crazy, and less sought after mods still go for around 200 plat. Yeah, it's a lot more plat than you're used to. Not that we're done with those, let's go over Rivens. For you to even get a Riven mod, you have to finish the War Within quest. Riven mods are special in the sense that they're the only mods in the game with a mastery rank requirement, which means if you don't have the right mastery rank, you can't put it in your weapon. And it can go up all the way to mastery rank 16. And they're also weapon specific mods, which makes it so it only works on that family of weapons. Example, if you have a Riven for a Paris, you can use it on the Paris normally and the Paris Prime, since it's part of the same Paris family of weapons. Riven mods can sell for ridiculous prices, and for about nothing as well. It's purely based on what weapon you get it for, and what stats the mod has, but mostly on what weapon it's on. Cause if you get a Riven for a shit weapon, well, then tough luck. It's not really gonna sell for much. But if you get it on a good weapon, then it'll already sell for a lot. But it's much more amplified if the stats are good or godlike. They are also the second type of mod that can have a negative stat. And yes, if the mod has a negative stat, it also amplifies the other positive stats. The good part about this though is that you can change it. You can change the stats of the mod by re-rolling them with Kuva, and by doing that you will eventually be able to get a good roll, and have good stats on that mod so you can sell it for a high price. Now the prices of these mods vary so much that it'll be really hard for me to tell you what price you should sell it for, but I will give you some thresholds. Let's start with this then. If you don't want to open a Riven mod because you don't really care for them, that's fine, since they can be sold for about 40 to 60 plat without you opening them. But let's say you opened it and it's for a bad gun. Now you can sell this mod at rank 0 for about 30 to 40 plat. Since no one wants it, don't even bother maxing out a Riven mod for a bad weapon, because no one's gonna want it anyways, so you'll just be spending credits and endo. But if you do happen to get a Riven for a really good weapon, you should focus on getting at least some good stats on it, because depending on the weapon, the price of a good roll can go from 300 all the way to 2k platinum. If you don't have time or whatever to farm Kuva and get a good roll for the Riven mod, it alone can go for 100 to 400 plat, depending just on what weapon it is on. Okay, all done with mods. Now let's get into the items. The items you can trade in the game are I-10 sculptures and Arcanes. I-10 sculptures don't even sell if you don't complete them with I-10 stars, so don't even try. It's not like their price is that high anyways. The price of the air sculpture, the weakest of the bunch, is about 5 plat, while the Piv, Sa, Vaya, and Valana I-10 sculptures go for about 7. The Zambuca and Orta I-10 go for mostly 10 plat, and the Anaza I-10 goes for more or less 15 plat each. And the only way to get this one is to do the sorties, while the other I-10s excluding the Zambuca can be found in normal missions, sometimes in plain sight. The Zambuca, however, can only be bought through the Arbitration Honor Store in the Arbiters of Hexus room in any relay. Alright, oh boy, Arcanes. Probably the most farm heavy way to earn platinum, cause these bad boys maxed out are a chore to farm. But you can also sell them individually. I don't recommend it cause the prices are just too low most of the time. For you to be even able to get an Arcane, you will need to finish the War Within quest, cause we will need to make use of your kid form. So after you've done that, go to the Plains of Eidolon and kill or capture an Eidolon. I'm not going to go over the fight cause that's too much, man. I will say this though, tougher Eidolons give you better Arcanes. Okay then, there are 4 Arcane tiers. Tier 1 is bronze, tier 2 is silver, tier 3 are gold, and tier 4 are white. A tier 1 rank 1 Arcane, meaning by itself, is worth about 1 to 5 plat, give or take, while a maxed out one is worth about 40. A tier 2 rank 1 Arcane is about 7 to 10 plat each, while a maxed out tier 2 Arcane is roughly 180. A tier 3 rank 1 Arcane is about 10 to 15 plat each, while a maxed out Arcane is worth about 230 plat. And finally, a tier 4 rank 1 Arcane by itself is worth 18 to 20 plat, and when maxed out, a tier 4 Arcane can go up to 450 plat. Now that's a lot of plat for an item that doesn't actually do a lot. Okay, now we're almost done. Materials. Okay, so the only materials worth trading are refined gems and focus lenses. Although you can trade other stuff like fish, these things don't hold any value, so it's not even worth it. And the only gems that are worth anything are Heartness and Radiant Centrum, which you can get from mining in the plains, as well as Radiant Zodian and Marquise Cyst that are acquired from mining in the Orvalis. And every one of these gems can be sold for either 1 or 2 platinum each. Now, there is some money to be made here with the focus lenses, and there are 3 types of lenses that are tradable: the regular lens, the Eidolon lens, and the Lua lens. For some reason you can't trade the greater lens, but anyways, for you to get your hands on a regular lens, you can run bounties in either the plains of Eidolon or the Orvalis with the levels 20 to 40 or 30 to 50 enemies, and these lenses go for about 10 plat each, no matter the school. The Eidolon lens blueprint is a reward from a tier 5 bounty in Cetus. For you to sell the Eidolon lens, you will need to be able to craft it, in which cannot be done without finishing at least the second dream, because the requirements of an Eidolon lens is to have a greater lens, and the blueprints for those will be only available in the market after you finish the second dream. And to craft a greater lens, you will need 1 Forma, 1 Argon Crystal, 1 Arcane Cell, and 4 regular lenses of the same school. After you craft that, you can then craft the Eidolon lens using the greater lens you just made, and with 5 Breath of the Eidolon capsules that are acquirable from any bounties in the plains of Eidolon. After you build the Eidolon lens, then you can sell it for around 100 plat each, no matter the school. The Lua lens also needs you to finish the second dream quest, because you will need access to Lua. So, to get the blueprint for this item, you need to run the Lua Disruption mission, and the blueprint is a drop from Rotation C, which is the 4th mission reward. After that, craft a Lua lens using the Eidolon lens and 5 somatic fibers that are dropped by Demolisher enemies. In the same mission, you get the blueprint for the Lua lens from. When fully built, these lenses are worth roughly around 130 platinum each. And finally, the EU category. Although these weapons don't give you that much plat and are usually just for mastery fodder, which means people get these items just for mastery rank XP, they are still a source of plat that I feel is worthy to put in here. Since the syndicate weapons are easy to get, and when you don't need the standing anymore because you got everything, there's no point. It's just standing that is sitting there waiting to be used. And so this can score you a little bit of plat. So let's start with the price of those weapons. First, it doesn't matter which syndicate you choose because the price comes down to the standing price of every weapon, more than their popularity. So with that said, the weapons that cost 100,000 standing are worth an average of 30 plat, while 125,000 standing weapons are worth about 40 plat each. While other weapons like the Wraith, Detron, and Prisma weapons are harder to put a price on, the price can range from around 30 to 100 plat. But the price usually comes down to how good the weapon actually is. Alright, we went over every way to make platinum in this game, but there is another. You can apply all that you've learned in this video and apply it into this third-party website that helps you sell your stuff even when you're not looking to sell. And it's called Warframe.market, and it's wonderful. It works like this. You find the website using Google, then link your Warframe account with the website so it can detect whenever you are online or not. Then you can enjoy everything this site has to offer. You can list the items you're willing to sell for whatever price you want and the amount that you have, and that entry will get saved in your profile and it will show up every time you search for that item, and this can be done with any tradables, even ribbons, and they also have a buying section, so if you want to list an item that you want to buy, you can do that. So after you list your items, what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing happens because you have to wait until someone wants your stuff. When that happens, they will whisper you in-game for that item and the price you put it down for. Then you can invite him into your dojo and trade. If you're on the other side for some reason and you don't know how to whisper, it's simple. Just type /W space the player's name, then a message. I think there's nothing more to say about this. Just use the website. Life becomes much easier. And I have nothing else to say about making platinum in Warframe. I think I have done a good enough job to list out how to make platinum very well. I hope you understood the points I've made and that you can use this to your advantage to the fullest potential. And that is everything. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Cause we're aiming